Hello and good afternoon. Welcome to today's podcast. My name is Daniel Atansi. Hello, everyone. Welcome. Today we have a great podcast for you, a great episode with a lot of content. We have a great speaker, and that we are going to touch about very important subject having to do with detox. And for anyone that is joining us, I want to thank you. And let's see, we have people from all over the place. And welcome everybody. Welcome Naomi, and we have more people. Thank you for being here with us. Tell us from where you join us. And it's always good to know all the different places. And today we're going to have a we'll talk about the subject of detox, how this can help a practice. And we're going to talk about the special therapy, the Ionic food therapy. And today with us, I want to welcome Charles Zeidler. He is the sales manager at Major Difference. Hello, Charles. How are you today?
Fine, great. Thank you for having me. Wonderful to be here.
Yes, absolutely. We're going to a little bullet point what we're going to cover. We're going to cover why patients struggle with detox and why traditional protocol often fall short in delivering results they can feel and see. But also we're going to touch upon how ionic food therapy works as a clinical tool and where it fits with a comprehensive wellness protocol and the challenges on using these tools, this wellness device. Also, how to implement ionic food therapy for immediate wow with patients. Now, the important point that I want to make here, okay, so, we're not making any medical claim here. We are not saying that this thing cure anything, and that's not, this podcast is purely for informations. And then obviously with Charles, also he can give you more data. And we're here just to provide data and information. So again, kind of just a podcast, and this is a great subject. And but it's tools that can be used to get gentle detox of the body that is going to improve the wellness. So Charles, so how are you today? First of all,
Great. Thank you so much.
awesome. And again, welcome and thank you for spending some time with us. So let's make a scenario. So let's say if I'm a patient, right, and I walk into a clinic and they're offering ionic food therapy. Can you walk us through like what is ionic food therapy and what's happening like when somebody is doing this therapy and what is this all about?
Sure. So an ion cleanse session is very vanilla for both the client and the practitioner. The user simply removes their footwear, places their feet in a warm bath, and enjoys 30 minutes of me time. Right? Relax, close your eyes, catch up on email or a podcast. Call your mom if you haven't talked to your mom in a while. You can even watch what's going on in the actual foot bath. It's fascinating to see. The most important thing for the user is just to make sure whatever you're doing facilitates relaxation. For the practitioner, it's a very simple device to use. It can be as easy as just literally hitting the start button 3 times. The Premier model does have multiple modes on it. There are different splittings of the polarity. We'll get into that a little bit later, but it's super vanilla, very easy to use, and enjoyable for the customers.
Nice. That's great. So is this something that everyone can do it? Like can kids can do it? Can older people can do it? Or how's that work? Is there like a range or is there any sort of, no, that person,
There are some contraindications. Generally anybody, we recommend anybody 2 and up, so as young as 2 to detox. There are
Wow.
practitioners who have done children younger than 2, but if you're very familiar with the ion cleanse in your patient, it's an incredibly safe device. Between the ages of 15 and 50, we recommend 3 ion cleanse sessions a week, 3 30-minute sessions. Over 50, 2 30-minute sessions a week to start. Eventually, the goal is to get to a once a week maintenance cleanse. That
Yeah.
could be 3 months, 6 months, just depends on your toxic burden in your body. But you won't be doing the ion cleanse 2 or 3 days a week forever. The goal is to get to a once a week maintenance cleanse. There are
That's
some contraindications. You can find a full list on our website, but I'll go over the main ones now. If you have
sure.
a pacemaker or an electronic implant you can't turn off, ion cleanse is not for you. Pregnant or breastfeeding mama, ion cleanse is not for you. Really, detox probably isn't for you. And if you're an organ transplant recipient or taking organ transplant medication, or really any medication that you need, if you skip a dose, there's a big issue. The IonCleanse might not be for you. Talk to your prescribing doctor. But outside of that, it's great. People often ask, "Oh, I have a rod or a plate or pins. Is it okay?" 100% totally safe.
Right.
It's not, IonCleanse isn't going to pull the screws out of your knee, right? It's it's possible you might feel some sensation where that implant is, if it's
Oh,
such
wow.
that it, yeah, if it depends. Some people don't, some people do. It just depends. If that sensation is such that the IonCleanse is uncomfortable, then there might be a better detox modality for you. And we'll talk more about that later, but like
Yeah,
really relaxation and comfort is key to the IonCleanse working.
fantastic. So, and obviously, like if somebody is on medication or already see a doctor, so forth, they need to consult with their doctor before to do anything else, obviously, right?
Yep. If you're a practitioner and you're introducing the IonCleanse to your clinic, we have a business help section on our website. We even have a downloadable release form you can use. You can tailor it to your business if you'd like, but it really just covers all liability, and we already have that prepared for you.
Yeah, absolutely. Totally. 100%. So let's get a little bit down into this. Charles, look, most probably you already run into this problem because you talk with a lot of practitioners as well. But it came across on our clients sometimes that when it comes to detox, there is something which is like an invisible problem because a lot of the detox protocol, like they do a liver detox or a juice detox or whatever I mean, they are great, but at the same time, they are invisible. I mean, you don't see anything, right? You do the liver detox or you're doing something like this, you don't see anything. So sometimes I got feedback that some detox protocol may fall short. So, what is different about this detox protocol that a practitioner can do with their clients using this wellness device?
Sure. Many detox protocols are simply too harsh and aggressive to be effective, especially long-term effective. They just try to move too quickly or too fast. Oftentimes, you're having to ingest or take something, which in itself can be problematic, especially if you have a high toxic burden. You're just adding more layers to a system that isn't already able to do what it's designed to do. Detoxing isn't a sprint, it's a marathon. I got that line from a former sales manager at AMD, Glenn Wilhelm. Love that guy. And it's so pertinent to anybody looking into this, but you're not going to mitigate the effects of years or even decades of toxic exposure with a 2-week juice protocol. It's just not going to happen. I'm not saying that can't also be good, but you have to be realistic
Right.
about what you're expecting. The IonCleanse operates much differently. More detox actually happens in the days that follow the foot bath than what happens during the actual foot bath itself.
Really?
Yep.
Wow. Why is that?
We'll get into that. I know you have some questions prepared, but it's with multiple successive IonCleanse sessions that a user can really see the difference. And that's why we offer a 60-day money back guarantee. We tell home users that if you're cleansing 2 to 3 days a week, or you're following your practitioner's guidance on session times, and you're not noticing a difference, you're not seeing changes in labs in 6 or 7 weeks, send the IonCleanse back. We'll give you a full refund. For practitioners, additionally, if you're not turning a profit on your IonCleanse in 6 or 7 weeks, and your patients aren't responding to the therapy, send it back. We'll give you all your money back as well. There's no restocking fees, no hidden charges, full refund.
That's great. That's great.
Mm-hmm.
So let's go into a little bit the science because people like to dig into this arena, right? So for people that are more clinically inclined, that they want to know more into this point, how does the ionic field in a foot bath translate into detoxification? What's really happening at cellular level?
Sure. So the ions from the IonCleanse are mobilizing toxins in the body, much like a sauna can mobilize toxins in the body. So if you're not familiar with the IonCleanse, it's very vanilla. There's an IonCleanse unit. This is the Solo, the home model. Coming out of it is an array. This array goes into the foot bathtub, right? It looks like this. There's metal
Yeah.
plates in it. It goes into the water. It introduces a current to the water. This current creates electrolysis, causes an abundance of ions, trillions of ions. And these ions mobilize toxins in the body. Some of those toxins are literally pulled out of your body through your feet into the bath water. a majority of those toxins are actually eliminated in the days that follow the cleanse. So you have in your body cells, and those cells need things to go into them and they need things to come out of them. And voltage gated ion channels are a mechanism that allows things to enter and exit cells. Those voltage gated ion channels can literally become blocked with toxicity. The ions in the ion cleanse can literally free those toxins.
Wow.
Additionally, the ion cleanse uses technology that elicits the parasympathetic response. So we can show that after just one 30-minute foot bath, will elicit the parasympathetic response in the user. That's rest and digest. So those toxins that aren't pulled out of the body through the feet that are released, now they're in your body, much like a sauna mobilizes toxins in your body. If your body can't eliminate those toxins, they'll just resettle, right? And then
Right.
you don't have much of a benefit from that. The ion cleanse gets you into the parasympathetic state. That's where your body needs to be to rest, digest, and detoxify or heal. So we're getting you into that parasympathetic state. Those ions that are mobilized in your body can now eliminate through its normal detox pathways. So we have multiple studies on our website that back this up. It's excellent.
That's awesome. So basically, these tools, this wellness device, is assisted to boost the already existing pathway of detoxification that maybe are blocked due to toxicity in the body.
Yeah, but and I don't even know if it's boost, right? We just get the body back to baseline. We get it back to
Right.
where it's supposed to be. Your body is designed intelligently to do many things, and detoxifying is one of them. You shouldn't need, if we didn't live in such a toxic environment, you wouldn't need detox protocols. Like you have
Yep.
a lymphatic system, you have your liver, you have your kidneys, you have your lungs, you have your skin. Like your body is designed to take care of itself and get rid of what shouldn't be there. We just happen to live in an environment, in a world where toxins are ubiquitous and you cannot escape them. Our food is poisoned, the air is poisoned, the products we use, cosmetic, like everything is full of toxins. And because of that exposure, we're in an environment where we need to take extra steps to detoxify. And the ion cleanse is just the best whole body detoxification system available.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, that's a 100%, 100%. Now, on similar subject in terms of the detox program that a practitioner can do in their practice, can you tell us a little bit about the timing? Like, because we obviously have practitioners that are listening that they may already have somebody on a protocol. So, how this work with that, or doing a detox, is something more advisable to be done as a main focus or more as a part of, in addition to an already existing protocol, or what's your
Sure.
suggestion here?
So the Ion Cleanse is designed to be a standalone detox tool. It's an effective detox without any additional modalities. However, it's so safe and so gentle and so low impact on the detox side that you can pair it with almost anything. And oftentimes practitioners will pair it. It's really common for, I did a webinar last week with a practitioner, Dr. Miriam Rahab. She's a medical doctor and she has a practice and she does ion cleanse therapies and she does a lot of IV therapies as well. And she loves to
Oh,
do the IV therapies in conjunction with the ion cleanse. People, there's this misconception about the ion cleanse that not only is it going to pull out toxins, but it's going to pull out things your body needs. And we don't have any research that shows that. In fact, we have research that shows when you're ion cleansing and you're detoxifying, and you're actually going to get better nutrition from your food. You're going to get better efficacy from any medications or supplements you're taking. Again, we're removing or unblocking those cellular receptor sites. We're freeing those toxins, environmental toxins, organic toxins, inorganic toxins, histamines. We're freeing those. So now the nutrition your cells need, the foundational elements or minerals your cells need to function, are able to get into the cells, and the waste from your cells are able to get out of it. So the ion cleanse is very safe. Let's say you do sauna or red light therapy in your clinic. You can do red light therapy the same time as the ion cleanse. If you do offer saunas, you can, after the sauna, do the foot bath, right? Because again, that sauna is going to mobilize those toxins. It's going to sweat some of those out, but some of them it's not going to be able to eliminate. Don't let them resettle. Do an ion cleanse afterwards. Pull some more out through your feet, get into that parasympathetic state, and now your body's going to be detoxing those for the next 3 to 5 days.
Nice, nice. Question in relation to protocol, like what is there, like, I mean, obviously each case is different, but is there sort of a baseline of suggested baseline in terms of, hey, we suggest to do X amount of sessions and as a
You know,
part
we,
of the protocol?
people want something firm, right? But
Yeah,
everybody's different. Everybody's body's different.
sure.
And practitioners may advise you to do something different. So if you're a practitioner and you know another practitioner and they have developed protocols or uses for the ion cleanse, obviously do what they say. They're familiar with their client and patient population. They know health histories, they know goals that the patients have, and they're going to design protocols towards that. I'm just speaking to general detox with the ion
Of,
cleanse.
co- of
Bet-
course, of
yeah,
course.
between 15 and 50, 3 days a week for 30 minutes. You could go
Hmm.
every other day, but oftentimes if you're doing every other day, every subsequent week you're going to be cleansing on a different day. And
Hmm.
it's much easier to fit this into your schedule by creating a program. So if you pick Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday, whatever it is, I'm going to cleanse on these days. It's much more realistic that you'll be able to do it. As your patients come in and they see this, oh, I need to do this 2 to 3 days a week. Wow, how does that work? Am I coming in here? Oftentimes practitioners will charge so much for a single session, but then they'll do a discounted bundle for 5 or 10 sessions. So
Yeah.
the client's like, oh, okay, it's not that bad. I can buy 10 sessions. I'm detoxing really effectively. If I do 10 sessions, I'm probably doing this for 3 or 4 weeks. I'm going to start to notice some differences. And really, that will keep them coming back to your clinic. We also have an excellent referral program. If you have patients that are clients that are using the ion cleanse and they're like, you know what, I'm doing this a lot, I have to travel or it's not fitting my schedule well. If you refer a customer to us and they purchase and they say your business sent them, you actually can earn between $250 and $400 for a referral for a machine. So it can be
Wow.
very lucrative for you as well in that sense. So you're not really
That's,
losing revenue referring a customer to us.
that's fantastic. That's awesome. Charles, I have another question. You touched upon this point of the body goes into the parasympathetic shift, and then this one is going to help to eliminate the toxin more. Can you touch upon a little bit more about this? Why such things help better for the detoxification for practitioner listening?
Yeah, so we can show that just one 30-minute ion cleanse session elicits the parasympathetic response in the user. And that's why we say 2 to 3 days a week, right? Because your life is going to get you out of that parasympathetic state and back into sympathetic. You might have to slam on your brakes when you're driving, or you might get in an argument with a coworker or something. So that's why we say while the ion cleanse in a perfect world would keep you in parasympathetic for 3 to 5 days after a cleanse, your life will get in the way. So that's why we say cleanse 2 to 3 days a week. It's very similar to the Leonard effect. The first person to document, and you may be aware of this, like walking by a waterfall or walking on the ocean with waves crashing. It's not electrolysis, but there's a natural ionization of water there. And it literally
Right.
makes you feel good and can get you into the parasympathetic state. We're doing the same thing with the ion cleanse. Much smaller volume of water, but a significantly greater concentration of ions. So we can show that we can get you into the parasympathetic state with the power of ions. The parasympathetic state is where your body needs to be to detox. If you're in the sympathetic state, if you're stuck in fight or flight, your body's unable to process and eliminate those toxins like it can in the sympathetic state. It's just biology and physiology. And we've learned a lot about the ion cleanse in the 20 years that we've been doing this. And we've learned that it's much more than what happens during the foot bath. The majority of it is the days that follow the foot bath.
Fantastic. That's excellent and also fascinating. So I want to ask you a question based on, and I'm going to read actually from some data that is in you guys' website that, by the way, for people that have listening, I want to again stress that the IonCleanse system is classified as a non-medical device. And this device, we understand it doesn't treat any illness or conditions. However, Charles, I know that You guys have worked with a lot of hundreds, even thousands of offices and clients, right? And my understanding is that from testimonials of offices who use it, like you guys were able to create a report where I'm reading here some statistics, 46% reductions of aluminum, 34% reduction in glyphosate, 24% reduction in cadmium. Wow, I mean, this is like unbelievable. Like, can you talk more about these points and in this case study and how those came about? And
Of course, these numbers actually they're not reports from practitioners or clients or case studies. These are actual studies that have been done on the IonCleanse that we have linked on our website. So
oh
that
wow,
40
okay,
that 46% reduction in aluminum, 24% reduction in cadmium, that's a heavy metal study that we have posted on our website.
wow.
The 34% reduction in glyphosate, that's a study that we have posted on our website. We did protocols. We had control groups, or non-cleanse groups and cleanse groups, and we tested heavy metal excretion through urinalysis. We tested glyphosate reduction through urinalysis, and we saw increases in the cleanse group compared to the non-cleanse group. It just backs up what we say. There's actually nearly half a dozen studies on our site that we use to back up our claims about the IonCleanse mobilizing toxins in the body, literally pulling some of them out during the foot bath and then facilitating detox in the days that follow. If you actually go to practitioners or go to our customers and home users, they can confirm significantly greater results than what we're able to post on our website. And I,
Yeah,
I encourage you to go to our Google reviews or check out Facebook groups that talk about the IonCleanse and see what the public has to say. I'm as you introduced me, I'm a sales manager for A Major Difference, right? Take what I say with a grain of salt. But if you go out there and search and ask about the IonCleanse, you're going to be amazed at the difference that it has made in people's lives.
yeah, no, I believe it 100%. That's great. That's great. Now, for practitioners that would like to implement this system, if I understand correctly, this is not it's not a medical device, so it's not that they need a doctor or require a nurse or anything. So this is pretty much a plug and play system. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. 100%.
So
Yep.
that is there any other like sort of introduction of things that somebody need to know about it to use it? I mean, obviously they need
Yep.
to read some instruction and so forth, but
Mm-hmm.
it's not like some you need to go to school to learn all about it.
No, you do not need to. Now, it's very vanilla to use. I would say most practitioners are going to be a pro after running through a cleanse the first time,
Yeah.
and the rest of the practitioners will be after the second one. It's designed to be super, super easy to use. That being said, I'm happy to offer training and guidance and answer questions to practitioners and teams. I multiple times practitioners have ordered devices for their offices. We set up a Zoom call or a Google Meet. Their team is there. I go through how the IonCleanse works, and then I answer any questions. And it's a super quick way to get people on board. A Major Difference actually does a monthly webinar series. So on the fourth Friday of every month, I do a webinar. I talk about the IonCleanse and how it works in all of these calls, and then we go and do a specific topic: polarity, color change, IonCleanse myths, the benefits of a slow detox, things like that. So these webinars are available on YouTube. You can watch them at your leisure. I'm happy to share links with people if they have questions. So it's a super easy technology to use, super easy to machine to use. Like literally can be as simple as turning it on, put the array in the water, hit the start button 3 times, you're off to the races. I mean, it's very vanilla.
That's great. That's great. Along the same line, from a point of view of retentions and attraction also of new clients, I believe that this is a patient magnet, right? So how does having a visible wow factor therapy like this that you can see when you detox kind of, oh my God, I mean, you see it on the water of all the stuff coming out, right? How such tools have you seen be of assistance to retention and also generating new business word of mouth for a referral basis?
Yes, so the IonCleanse has been very successful, and it's in businesses across the wellness space. So again, it's in chiropractor and medical doctors' offices, and naturopathic and wellness doctors' offices. It's also in wellness centers and spas and float rooms and salt, like across the board wellness. The IonCleanse is a perfect fit. And 100%, when people come in and see it and they see the foot bath water, they're like, what is that? It's fascinating. We have to be careful though. We know that the IonCleanse detoxes. We know that some of what you see in the water comes from detox, but a lot of what you see in the water is also chemistry. So you want to be very upfront with your customers. A lot of this is like this color change is going to happen with or without feet in the water. Pure
Hmm.
H2O is an insulator, not a conductor. There's a mineral content in the water that those ions are going to interact with or without feet. So depending on the water supply, you're going to see things happen in there with or without feet. However, it's invariably different with feet. And if you have a practice where there are multiple ion cleanses and you have 2, 3, or 4 people cleansing at the same time, that's really special because you're always going to see differences in the water for the users. And the only difference there, ion cleanse array, same water supply, the unique identifier, the unique difference there is the client or patient using it. So that's really fascinating and very powerful. And then we know that everybody who goes to your office and does an ion cleanse is going to leave feeling great afterwards. And if they continue to ion cleanse, they're going to notice major differences in their life. They're going to have better sleep. They're going to have more energy during the day. They're going to have reduced brain fog. This we know across the board. If they have a specific toxin burden and they've mitigated that exposure, they know they're no longer being exposed to it, but they have a high level of a heavy metal or they know they have mold toxicity. Not only are they going to feel better, if you're running labs, they're more than likely going to see differences in these labs. Like we have mold doctors who use the ion cleanse and recommend the ion cleanse, especially for tough cases, because nothing else works. There's a renowned mold doctor, Jill Krista, who recommends the ion cleanse, Dr. Jill Krista. And she first came across the ion cleanse. She didn't understand it, didn't know how it worked, didn't think it made sense, and paid it no mind. And then she had a client that she had for many years who came in and had just stuck levels. Nothing they did could reduce the mold. Client comes in, they do a lab, mold's down. She said, "What'd you do?" So the patient said, "Well, I was at a conference and there was a ion cleanse foot bath and I had one. Why?" She goes, "Well, your levels are down." Just one session with the ion cleanse moved the
Wow.
needle on this woman's mold exposure. We know it detoxifies organic toxins. We know it detoxifies inorganic toxins. We know it detoxifies environmental toxins. Like, we're called a major difference. And that's because we will make a major difference.
Wow. That's amazing. That's amazing. All right, all right. So let's see if we have any question here. Let's see. Is doesn't seems to be. I don't know if Naomi have any questions. Let's see here. Some other people. If you have any question for Charles, let us know. Anyway, our time's kind of run out. We want to be mindful about time of you guys listening. And Charles, first of all, thank you so much for your time and for being with us and in this amazing wellness device. And now, one thing that you should know is that, we at Holistic Health Solution, obviously, we are a partner with the Major Difference. We provide this device to all our practitioners. And because we go into spring, we actually have a special for you, and we are dropping the link right now because of spring. That's a perfect time to detox. We have discounts, so any one of you that are here, can take advantage. If you don't have one, this is a perfect time to do it. If you already have one in your practice, well, I advise you to take a second one because I think that if you start promoting that this is something you do, I think you're going to need more than once in your practice, right? So, how
Yeah,
many
it's
how many of your practitioners have multiple, right? Like is better, right?
most of them, a majority
Yeah,
of them. Yeah,
exactly,
it's very, very common.
exactly, exactly.
We have
So
practitioners with 6 or 7 units. They take on new space to add more ion cleanse stations.
absolutely. So yes, so take a second one if you have one, and definitely use it. Now, one more thing for you to know is that if you watching this as a replay, on YouTube or as a Zoom replay, the discount is still valid for you. So go there and take advantage of that. If you have any questions, reach out to us. We'll be happy to answer any questions. If you have questions about how to do it, or if you need more training, we hook you up, and we're going to get you a video like Charles mentioned. And if you're watching this video on YouTube, first of all, appreciate it. And it will be great help if you can give a thumbs up on the video, and also subscribe if you're not. It's going to help with the YouTube algorithm to spread this amazing technology, amazing wellness device. Again, Charles, well, thank you so much for being with us and for your time.
Yeah, you're most welcome. Thank you for having me. This was a lot of fun. Looking forward to doing it again.
Absolutely. And again, thank you for all of you. And I see you all to our next podcast. Thank you.